Once the fireproofing is completed, volunteers will put the finishing touches on the building. They plan to have it done before the 7th anniversary of the fiery end of the standoff on April 19th.
This you're seeing here is 21 days of work, 21 actual days of work, and we're going to change our strategy to try to get through by April 19th.
Ophelia, what do you think of the church rebuilding program?
I think it's wonderful. I really like the church. It looks so beautiful.
When you first heard about us talking about rebuilding it, did you think we'd really do it?
Yes, I never doubted it.
Wow. Because you knew Mike going way back, didn't you?
Yes.
The cameraman?
Yes.
Are you surprised that the government hasn't offered to help or hasn't done anything?
Oh, yes, I am.
You thought they would come out and help?
Right. Yes.
Why would you say that?
Because, well, you know, all the damage they've done to us. They destroy everything we had, and they destroy even our families and even ourselves, you know, because we had gone through a lot since then. My mother has been so sick since then. She's been so depressed, and she almost committed suicide. She was so depressed because of the loss of our family.
How many members of your family died?
6.
Who were they?
My only daughter and
What was her name?
Julie Martinez, and all her kids. There was 5 kids.
They had an opportunity to come out. Why did they decide to stay?
They were afraid. They were afraid to come out because you know what? We were looking at all the damage they were doing to us, and they were destroying everything, and so we were afraid to come out.
Well, I know a lot of people were afraid to come out. In fact, the federal government even admits, the military admits that the tactical teams on the ground during the siege, when they would tell people to come out and get some letters from their lawyers or letters from the government, and that they would throw flashbang grenades at them. Did you hear about that?
Yes. Yes.
You talk about damage. What type of damage were they doing with the tanks?
Well, they were destroying all our cars, and they were destroying all around the kids' motorcycles.
And Ophelia, to Americans out there that still believe the government's lying, that you guys were bad people, what type of people are Branch Davidians? What was going on out here in '93? How would you describe life here?
Well, everything was peaceful. These were the happiest days of my life, believe it or not. We were so happy, and I was very, very happy to be here.
Was everybody nice to each other? And
Yes, yes. I've never seen anything like this before. You know, people from all nationalities, all cultures. We used to get along so well, like brothers and sisters.
we know that the federal government, for several months before the attack, the initial attack by the BATF and the National Guard helicopters on February 28th, and of course this is the anniversary of that day, we know that they were staying in the houses across the street. Do you remember the story that Clive and others have told me about how the people that owned the property before the federal government moved in actually asked you guys for help and for free? A bunch of men went over and helped them fix it, and then they were surprised to see men with guns going in there and staying?
Yes. Yes,
Can you tell us a little bit about when the feds moved in across the street?
Well, they when they moved, they said they were students. They were university students, and but David never believed. And so, you know, we started getting acquainted with them, and And David used to send people there to try to help and make friends with them. And they started to come over here to us, to visit us. I'm not sure if they came first, because they wanted to find out about what's going on here. I think that they shot the dogs first. Well, some of them shot the dogs, and some of them started shooting David and Perry.
So you're saying they drive up in the vehicle, they jump out, they run up, and in 10 seconds they start shooting the dogs and shooting the front door and shooting the building.
Yes. And then my daughter came in the room because she wasn't there, and she got me by my hand and pulled me down to the floor, and all the kids, she threw them down on the floor. And
so you were shocked watching the men outside shoot. Your daughter pushed you down.
Yes, because the shooting was coming also through the front, through the ceiling.
Did you see any holes in the ceiling?
That's why she threw us on the floor.
Did you see any holes in the ceiling?
Yeah, oh yeah. The room was like a strainer. It was full of holes.
The room was like what?
Like a strainer.
A strainer? A sieve?
It was, yes. It was. There was so many holes in the room. I don't know how. We didn't get killed then.
By the grace of God.
Yeah.
Now, Catherine
because
Madison.
We were on the floor.
Now, Catherine.
And the shooting was coming through the ceiling and through the walls also. And I remember there was bunk beds. There were bunk beds, and my Bible was on top of it, of the bed, upper bed, and they shoot it. They shoot my Bible. It had a big hole like this, my Bible. And I remember when I went out, I asked David, should I take my Bible like this? And he said, yeah, take it as an evidence. But when I got there, they took it away from me. And I had another Bible, a new Bible.
Oh, so they took your old Bible with the large hole.
Yes, and they took my new one too. And I never got it back.
How big was the hole in the old Bible?
Oh, it was about this big. About this big.
Where were you taken to jail? Where did they take your Bible?
I don't know. They took it away from me, that's all I know.
Well, Ophelia, thank you very much for talking to us.
You're welcome.
More progress was made today near Waco. A church is going up where the Branch Davidian compound burned down.
Volunteers, including Davidians, are laboring to have their place of worship finished by April. Channel 8's Laura Martin reports.
You can see it in their faces. They're serious about their cause, rebuilding the church at the Branch Davidian compound. Austin radio talk show host Alex Jones organized the effort. The materials are donated. Volunteers do the work.
Some weeks, as much as 150 people out here. On average, I'd say about 40, 50 people over the day.
It's taken us quite a while, but on the other hand, we've only been working on it like a day a week, so it's not really a long time when you consider the size of it and everything.
The church shell stands where the compound chapel stood before the 1993 fire that destroyed it and killed more than 80 Davidians. So far, $70,000 in donations for the new building have come in from Austin to North Texas.
Every piece of wood has been doused with a flame retardant. This too donated by a Dallas company, a $5,000 product.
Branch Davidian Sheila Martin watches the construction almost every Sunday. She lost her 4 children and husband in the fire and longs to tell her family about this effort.
Look, Wayne, look what's going on, what's happening. Isn't this great? Look at these people who are willing to do these things. I don't have him there beside me to do that.
Volunteers plan to have the church finished for a special service on April 19th, the anniversary of the fire. Near Waco, Laura Martin, Channel 8 News.
RebuildAchurch.com. There it is, folks. A blank check already signed. Hey, let's go to Mexico.
A lot of thought and effort has gone into the construction of this church. It's going to cost them exactly $101,000. They've even gone as far to put in this long ramp for handicap needs. The Branch Davidians are also looking forward to their trial date in May, when they will present a federal lawsuit against the government for wrongful death of those Branch Davidians that perished on Mount Carmel 7 years ago.